Hi everyone, Az here from HeelvsBabyface. Cast your minds back just a few months ago to when Blizzard announced their financial report for 2018. Activision Blizzard, of course. And they announced that it was never been a better time to be a shareholder. I mean, even though their stock price had basically halved throughout the course of the year. On top of that, they announced that it was a record-setting year, though. It was a historic year. They hadn't ever brought in as much revenue as they had in 2018. And they decided to celebrate with their shareholders by sacking 800 people. Oh, what a lovely person Bobby is. And that saw the stock price rise $3, maybe. But if you check NASDAQ now, it's pretty much back to where it was pre that announcement. Nothing's really changed. Stock price is still approximately 50% down from where it was last year. Why? Because 2019 isn't going to hold anything particularly much for Activision Blizzard. They have the Call of Duty franchise, but they've pretty much killed every other IP, and they've returned Destiny back to Bungie. Blizzard Entertainment, well, there's no WoW expansion, there's no new IPs. Hearthstone, revenues are down over 50%. Heroes of the Storm's been abandoned. Diablo has nothing ever done to it. And Overwatch, which will become a major feature of this video, that in itself has seen major decline in its revenue chain. So I guess they're really putting their bank on Classic, getting people to resubscribe to the World of Warcraft, trying to get those people back. That's really the only ace that they have in their hand right now. And so once those job losses, those sackings were announced, it was miraculous when only a few weeks later Activision quite openly came out and said, we don't even know if this is going to have the desired effect of streamlining the company and, you know, getting us a little bit more revenue in. And in actual fact, this may prove to be detrimental because they're rehiring some people for various roles. They're having to train them. On top of that, they said that staff who are remaining, morale is down significantly due to the severe job losses, which has been felt across all Blizzard Entertainment, Activision, King. And so they don't actually think those job cuts are going to do much, if anything, whatsoever. So what a great thing to do for your company. And it seems, though, that the rot is starting to set in. And we saw, I'm talking as gamers, saw exactly what Blizzard were all about at BlizzCon last year. They made it pretty evident where their priorities lay, and it was with mobile, and it was particularly with moving into the East, into China, and using their relationships with Chinese companies to push products like Diablo Immortal and also Call of Duty Mobile, which will be coming from Activision as well. So that leads us into this story here, and it all ties together, people. And this is from Dexerto. Sources. More high-profile Blizzard staff set to leave admit morale problems. Now, this is leaving of their own volition now. This isn't additional sackings or anything like that. This is people leaving of their own volition. Sources have informed us that several high-profile and experienced staff are set to leave Activision Blizzard over the next 2 weeks. Set to be amongst them will be Kim Flan, the global product director of Blizzard's eSports. Someone who's been with the company for over 13 years. And this comes just a week after Nate Nanza announced that he was leaving the company and going to work for Epic Games, taking over, no doubt, Fortnite and Rocket League, who Epic have also acquired. And he was the Overwatch League's commissioner. And Overwatch, as I said, is going to play a very important role in this video. So let's just scooch down to the bottom and see why are they actually going. Now, Sources internal to Blizzard confirmed the reason for the latest round of departures as being linked to low morale, especially surrounding the development of the eSports divisions of their games. This is a quote coming from the source. People are really getting tired of working for Pete Velasdelica. Look at that face. Jesus Christ. It's like he's sat on a cactus. One source said, the focus has become commercializing the esports titles instead of making good programs for the community. Many people internally are laying that on Pete, and it has crushed morale among the Call of Duty and Overwatch teams especially. Now, this is where the first bit of shade comes in the video. It wouldn't affect the Heroes of the Storm team because that's already been killed off. Now, what is very interesting about what's been said here is the focus has become commercializing the esports titles instead of making good programs for the communities. So what does that actually mean? Does it mean that they're just going around getting sponsors? No. I think it's a little bit more than that. You obviously need sponsors to run tournaments, etc. So sponsorship, no. That's not what they're going on about here. And yeah, esports tournaments, sure, you want them to make a profit, but ultimately, if you're doing an esport, it's got to be for the community. It has to be for the community. But there seems to be something a little bit underhand in the works, which I'll get to momentarily. But I just want to give Pete's credentials before I do that. He joined the company in 2016 from Fox Sports. In his previous role at Fox, he oversaw their digital output, pay attention to that, and content creation. Some people at Blizzard feel this doesn't necessarily equip him to make decisions about what is best for esports due to the noted differences between the markets. Okay. Right now, there's a feeling that a lot of the senior management just don't understand esports, another source close to the situation said. But there is no room for negotiating with these people. They are convinced their vision, which is more in line with televised sports, is the right way to go, and it's just made people miserable. So Pete essentially is trying to run the esports division a la television sports. Football, soccer, I hate saying that word. Football is football. American football is American. Baseball, hockey, whatever you want it to be. But I did a little bit of digging, because digging is what I do. And this is an article from the eSports Observer going back to 2017, July. And the title is NetEase's ownership of an Overwatch League franchise a conflict of interest? So this is very interesting because NetEase now is a very synonymous name when it comes to Blizzard Entertainment, because it was mentioned several times during the BlizzCon last year, particularly in relation to Diablo Immortal, their relationship with NetEase, pushing games to the east, and of course, when NetEase themselves decided to release a promotional image of NetEase and Blizzard Entertainment working together, what was on the screen was how to monetize the fucking thing. But that is just comedy gold in itself. That's just by the by. But NetEase have a working relationship with Blizzard Entertainment and Activision Blizzard. Why? Because they're their gateway into China. If you want to do business in China as a Western company, you can't just set up shop. You have to go through a Chinese organization. And NetEase essentially are Blizzard Entertainment in China. They've been running World of Warcraft for 8 odd years now over there, and of course the relationship is cemented, and now you have the whole mobile Diablo Immortal that's going to get massively pushed over there. And they, back in 2017, were allowed to purchase an Overwatch League team, which is a clear conflict of interest because they have a business working relationship with this company. Now, what does that mean? Now, these are worst case scenarios, but these could have happened. And let's just say the world of esports isn't exactly the cleanest right now. We've seen multiple instances. Well, we've had, unfortunately, the very controversial one with the... but we've also had plenty of cheating that has come out. And these are just a few things which could occur if there is a conflict of interest. If you, of course, are an organizer of this, can feed early patch information to the team because you have that relationship with Blizzard. Feed opponent game information because Blizzard, again, have that information. And it's easy to say, well, they're never going to do this. Just saying. Delay or rush a patch in favour to favour heroes that team prefers. Ban an opposing team player. So I'd say that the last two are pretty extreme. May happen, but I think very, very, very unlikely. But the first two, I wouldn't count them out at all. And then, now let's go to another article, again by the eSports Observer, towards the end of last year, November. The second season of Activision Blizzard's Overwatch League is in its initial stages, with the biggest news being the addition of 8 new franchises. But guess what? 2 of them were again awarded to companies that Blizzard Entertainment have a working relationship with, which now means there are 3 companies who Blizzard have an active working relationship with, who are all owners of the Overwatch League teams. And guess where they're all based, people? Well done. They're all based in China, where Blizzard are looking to make inroads with their mobile productivity. Their mobile products and, of course, pushing more mobile products there in the future. With, of course, Call of Duty 4 coming, that could easily get pushed out there. Don't expect to see any blood, though, in that game. So the first one is Huya. Now, this is really interesting. A Chinese live streaming company similar to Twitch. So a company that is actually streaming the Overwatch League owns an Overwatch League team. Now that is what they mean by the commercialization aspect. This is the chummy business relationship. This is done for business purposes. This isn't done for esport players. This isn't done for the community. This is done to cement business relationships. And this is anti-esport for what it truly stands for, which is regular Joes coming together and forming teams and competing for grand prizes in front of massive audiences. But this is all very, very cloak and dagger handshaking. Just imagine if Twitch owned multiple esport teams and then, of course, promoted the esport tournaments. Do you think people would, I think they'd be a bit suspect about the conflict of interest that was there? When you're hosting the tournament and you have a team, just think of all the information that you are privy to about your opponents. And the second is a video sharing company, again, operating in China, which has been given another Overwatch League team. And they have a relationship with Tencent, who also, Huya, have a relationship with Tencent. It all links back together. So is that what's going on here? It may be, it may not. But it seems to be the true intentions of why esports were created is now getting muddied by Blizzard creating business relationships, shaking hands, doing favors, so they can cement their productivity, their move into the East, which is, as Alan Adam he said very clearly at BlizzCon 2018, an aggressive move that they're going to make, and they're pulling all their best people off PC onto mobile for this move, particularly into China. Well done, Blizz. My God, you sound like a cracking company to work for right now. So there we go. Let me know what you think in the comments section down below. Hope you enjoyed the vid. If you did, do get a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social media and Twitch for live streaming. Links there in the description box down below. and I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. It's going to be interesting to see how many people actually leave over the course of the next 2 weeks. I will keep my eye firmly on that. You take care. Bye for now. Oh my god! Did you see the new intros and outros for the videos? They look absolutely incredible. They were done by a fan. A fan got in touch and said, hey, I hope you don't mind, Az, but I've actually been playing with your cartoony intro and outro and turned it into a CGI thing. And I was just absolutely blown away. So they worked on turning them into an intro and outro for me. They didn't want to receive any payment whatsoever, which I thought was crazy, but I've managed to talk them into receiving some stuff from me, because this great work cannot go unrewarded, to say the least. But let me know, by the way, what you think about them as well in the comment section, because I think they look absolutely stunning. And I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So would you like to see the banner on Twitter and YouTube? Would you like to see them adjusted to match this incredible footage? I'd be interested in your feedback. You can either put it down below or twat me. I'll be listening. So, okay, you take care. Bye.